really, it is quite phenomenal, the politicians wading in, isn't it? Because, of course, we had David Cameron, the UK Prime Minister, not really tackling Eric Schmidt at the meeting on Monday with business leaders. He did air concerns about global tax avoidance, but didn't bring it home to Google, whereas Deputy Leader, of course, Nick Clegg did at that meeting. We understand from sources close who were attending the meeting that he did actually bring up with Eric Schmidt that he was concerned about the public anger over corporate tax avoidance and sort of said, look, Google is finding this out at the moment. So clearly Nick Clegg having a bit of a jab at Eric Schmidt, of course, the executive chairman of Google, and now Ed Miliband doing the same, but in Google's home territory at their own event, Mark.
Yeah. The
Big Tent event, of course, that was yesterday, just north of London. And Ed Miliband took to the stage and criticised Google for going to the extraordinary lengths, he says, to avoid paying its taxes. He said he thought this was wrong, and he said, I can't be the only person here who feels disappointed that such a great company as Google, with such great founding principles, will be reduced to arguing that when it employs thousands of people in Britain, makes billions of pounds of revenue in Britain, it's fair that it should pay just a fraction of 1%.
And did he use what cartoon characters to get his point across?
Well, this was about RBS as well. He was
Yes.
having a bit of a bash at capitalism in general. He was sort of trying to paint irresponsible capitalism. He used Montgomery Burns. Now, he is, of course, the bad guy, the villain of The Simpsons. We know him well. He owns the nuclear plant.
Yeah.
And he said, look, RBS is almost, you know, the character, using a character such as Montgomery Burns. He said the RBS is, you know, the modern-day character of Montgomery Burns. Ironic, as he himself, Ed Miliband, is often likened to Wallace from Wallace and Gromit, of course, the cartoon character, be a bumbling inventor and thought to rather sound and look like him. But he was really sort of taking quite a formal attack of the irresponsible, the poor side of capitalism, as he was deeming. Eric Schmidt himself was not there at the same time to hear these sorts of claims, but he did respond to accusations a little bit later. We can hear from Eric Schmidt now.
I can't defend the international tax regime. Both your government and we have said that it needs to be rethought. And trust me, I did not design such an irrational structure. It would not have been designed this way by a computer scientist, I can assure you. But the fact of the matter is that these are the rules.
So similar to, of course, Tim Cook of Apple saying they're sort of criticising these are the rules that are in place, they're playing by the rules, but maybe these rules should eventually be changed.